Hello, hello, and welcome. I see you out there. Blessings to all of you. This has been a crazy, awesome week. There's also been a lot of snow. A lot of snow. Let me see if I can show it to you. I'm here in Portland. Can you see that? It's snow with a layer of ice with a layer of snow and another layer of ice and another layer of snow, and it's still coming down. This is not normal for Portland in the last 8 years. We get this every once in a while, but whoo, yeah, this feels a lot like Colorado where I used to live. Anyway, thank you for being here. Oh, I see the likes already. Thank you. I'm going to try to keep this video short, but this is going to be something that I've talked about a few times, but it's going to be very, 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 very helpful, very, very important, and very, very helpful for those of you who are dealing with family members, community members who are racist or stubborn, right? This video was inspired by Jaya Rose, who's an amazing kick-ass coach. If you're a woman, entrepreneur, woman, please do go check her out. Thank you, Jaya, for inspiring this video. The reason she inspired this video, she said in one of our voice messages back before, she's like, people are so stubborn. Like, how do you do this work? How do you do this work as a woman of color? Like, this is hard, you know? And I'm like, yeah, it is. And I just want to let you know that this was totally appropriate conversation between me and her. So thank you, Jaya, for inspiring this video. I think it's time to put this out there again. So, talking with stubborn and racist family members, community members, whoever they are. The first, Victor Curtis says, hello. You obviously cannot see me because if you could, you would see my hearts and boxers for Valentine's Day. Well, yes. Okay, you're right. I can't see you. I get to see the numbers, but please post a picture, Victor. Let it all out. Okay, so the first thing, and this is sort of like my threefold method for talking to racist family members and stubborn family members, and community members. It's something that it's like a gift that keeps giving back. The first thing that you need to do is figure out what your intention is. If your intention is to change them, if your intention is to make them see, if your intention is to, fix the world or whatever, that's not going to go well for you because we're talking about racist and stubborn people. They might not know they're racist. They might not know they're even stubborn, but the only intention that you should approach with, okay, is to be an explorer. Okay, now we've all been in those conversations where we have like the dad or the uncle who's just like digging in, like, Black Lives Movement is bullshit, or whatever it is they're saying. It might be a community member who's using spiritual. Oh, we are all one, and you talking about your oppression is the thing that's dividing us. You're the problem, right? We all have been in those situations. So when you approach, know that if they're dug into that position, you giving them evidence, you giving them information, or you telling them you need to get yourself educated, they've heard that over and over again, probably. They're not interested in what they need to do. They're interested in being right. They're interested in being in a peaceful place, not a peaceful place, but they're interested in being in a place where what they are saying is not challenged, okay? The contentment and the bliss of ignorance, okay? Okay, so do not approach them with this idea that you have a solution. Your only intention is to be explorer, okay? We're talking about racist and stubborn family members, community members. That's what we're talking about. Hello, people. Let me know you're out there in the comments. Hello. Say hello. Hearts and likes. Yes, light it up. So that's the first thing. The second thing that you want to do as being explorer is when you talk to them, do not come with judgment, okay? Don't come with any kind of judgment or decide like what this conversation is going to need to be. Don't come with any expectations that they are going to tomorrow become anti-racist, or that they are going to follow you and do what you're doing, okay? Again, this conversation is inspired because my friend Jaya Rose was like, how do you do it? How do you educate when people are so stubborn? And I've made this video before, but I thought I should do it again. So this is how I approach people. Rebecca is saying, change the verbiage, change the world. There you go. There's a tip. Use it. Right? Thanks, Rebecca. All right. So I'm not going to come into that conversation with any kind of expectation. I'm just going to be explorer. If I come in with the expectation, the chances are it's probably not even going to be met. Really. Like, probably. That's the second part. The third part is that, well, I don't even know if it's the third part, but this is like the next part. Allow them to go as far, ask clarifying questions. And look, when you're asking the questions, don't come with judgment. Don't come with like, suggestiveness in your voice. Like, you need to come to this without any kind of emotion, right? You need to come to this in a way where you're just sort of like a mirror and holding space. Because I'll tell you, when somebody is digging into like racist thoughts, when somebody is digging into like, into their stubborn ways about how they think about human beings, there's a war going on inside them. It takes a lot of effort and energy to believe that Black people are killing each other because Black people are less than. It takes a lot of effort and energy to be in this world right now and decide that racism, white supremacism just isn't a thing. It's a lot of effort and energy. Those people are always in some sort of war within themselves and with the world around them. That probably it might have been you before. A lot of effort and energy to deal with what's coming at them, which is like the truth. Right? So in this place of being an explorer, you can set an intention of creating a peaceful space where you're just asking questions. Assume yourself a child who's just like, I just want to know more about this, right? Now, how do you do this? How do you do this and not like recoil when you hear the answers? The chances are that you're talking to this person because you love them, they're in your family, because you want them to do well. They might be a friend, because they're leadership, or they're somebody in your community and you want that community to do well. So you have to tap into your own love and compassion for this person in their humanity, even if what they are saying is harmful and hateful. If your intention is to be an explorer, then explore. Don't add your judgment and your emotions. Just ask, like, what do you mean? What do you mean when you say that the police aren't the problem? Like, where are you going with that? Like, I just want to know. Okay. And then let them give you the answers. What's going to happen is when you create that space, when you're coming without judgment, you're asking clarifying questions, what they are then going to experience is a place of peace where they can explore their own, as they're answering your questions, they can explore their own ideas. Okay. Remember, I said, if you are holding on to super racist and like, and stubborn thoughts about, white supremacism, racism, sorry, I'm a little tongue tied today. There's a war going on inside. It's difficult to live that life. Okay. Holding on to racism is dirty. Okay. There's a war going on. So if you're creating this peace where they can like really explore without somebody coming at them, telling them they're wrong, it's going to unearth some stuff where it's going to inspire a journey for themselves. They are more likely to listen to, there's no guarantee, but they are more likely to listen to other points of view, because you coming to them, who obviously has other points of view, you coming to them and saying, okay, like, I'm going to create this space where you can be right and you can tell me all about this thing, and I'm not going to fight you on it. You can just have these thoughts, and I'm going to treat you like a human being, and that what you feel is valid, even if you feel like what they feel is not valid. What you feel is valid, and I'm just holding this space. Their attachment to those feelings is going to be different. It's going to release a little bit. Okay. We're talking about the long game. This is the long game. If you want to create unity, if you want to be anti-racist, if you want to be an ally, if you want to be a accomplice, it's a long game. It's not a short game. I'm just telling you that right now. Okay. This is where the threefold part comes in. The threefold tool. I just named it the threefold tool. I just need a name for it. Okay. 1, the person is going to be more likely to listen to other points of view. They are going to start releasing attachment to what they think, their stubbornness. Okay. They're going to experience not being at war for just a short period of time as they're talking about this. Okay. That's a gift for them. Okay. You might end up having this conversation like this with them a whole bunch of times, especially if it's a family member, right? A whole bunch of times. But they are going to get some benefit of having some sort of peace within themselves around this stuff. Okay. 2, you are going to learn so much about those mentalities. It's going to give you so much more confidence and navigating power. Okay, when you are dealing with racism and people who are stubborn about these issues. Okay, that's the second thing. 3, the third thing is that people who are around who don't know what to do, who don't know how to have these conversations, who want to be part of the change, and they just need to see how it's done, they are going to be affected by that. And that's so true for in our communities and in our families, because a lot of times we're sitting around a dinner table and you have like say a matriarch who is just like so ignorant and racist and stubborn, and everybody just like follows them because they're used to following them because they're the matriarch in the family. And really around the dinner table, around the 10 of you, there's like 6 of you who are like, I don't want to challenge her, but I really want to know how to have these conversations. I never say anything. And they see you are teaching them to create these spaces for other people that they love or in their communities. So you're also in a leadership position for those who are wondering. I'm going to look at the comments really quick. She said, no, Victor says, well, they don't want to think and they don't want to grow and they don't see naysayers. And yeah. So yes, all of this. Yes, all of this. They are here to crush and smear, above all win. Yeah. So that is a mentality that we're talking about. That's exhausting, right? So you're creating a peaceful space for this person to explore what they feel. Okay. It's a space for them to go into their heart, to connect with their spirit on what's real, on a deeper truth. Okay. That's a huge gift, whether they know it or not. Okay. And also don't expect for them to show up the next day and be like, I now see what you're talking about. Now I've changed my mind. You might have this conversation 2 or 3 times. You might have it once. They might not change, or they might never change, or they might get to a point where they are open and like a year later, it's like a completely different attitude, right? People will change. People do change. It happens, right? You dig? You see what I'm saying? Okay. Here's my last tip on all of this. You have to really want to have these conversations, and you have to know your boundaries around these conversations. I don't have these conversations with everybody. There was a time in my life when I always had I'd always show up for these conversations on social media and communities, whatever. Okay. Now I more hold the space of like, if you want to get deep into this, I'm totally cool for whatever comes out of you, because I hold that if you're just unplugging and realizing that you want to, discover this in yourself, or if you've been a freedom fighter for 20 years, 30 years, like I will make space for you if you really want to be talking about these subjects. That's why people book sessions with me. That's why they take my classes, right? But in public now, unless I'm like making a video like this and I'm talking to commenters, I generally don't show up for these conversations, because holding this space, what I'm talking about, what I just explained to you, that's like warrior's work. It takes a lot within me to stay in a place of compassion and calm. It takes a lot of my energy and effort, and it sometimes drains me, right? That's why I schedule my sessions on certain days and why I teach on certain days, so I can prepare myself for these conversations, because I want to be part of the change and I have some skill in holding those spaces for people. So what I'm saying to you is, as per the whole reason I started making this video, is what I'm explaining to you is, if you want to have these conversations are not for everybody. They're not for everybody. We should strive to find a way for ourselves to enter in these conversations and see where we can be of service. But having these conversations every day on a regular basis and every social media interaction is not maintainable. You will quit your allyship. You will quit being an accomplice. You will not want to pay attention to these subjects. So know what your standards and boundaries are around these very intense interactions. Okay, having said that, today is the last day of early bird pricing, $250 for the Moms and Race course. A lot of you want to have this kind of impact on even your children. That is what we're doing the Moms and Race course. It's for people who want to get clear on forming their ideas and how they're showing up around racism and white supremacism. This course is designed specifically for moms. So it is a course where you just show up and listen, or you can just listen to the recordings. No one is tracking you. No one is grading you. This is not a course where you have to turn things in at a certain time. It's really just for you to absorb the information. We already have enough on our, as people, we already have enough on our plates. And if you're a parent, I mean, that's like times 10. So today is the last day. I put all the information of the course inside the post of this video. And know that that if you can't quite sing it, because I get a lot of people who are like, I want to do the work, but I can't afford it. I want to do the work, but I'm not investing in it. So if you are in that position where you're like, you really want to do the work, but this work with me, and you can't invest in it, please DM me now, because there are like scholarship type options for you. I don't want to be turning anybody away from this work. A lot of people want to do this work, just can't invest in it at this level that I'm presenting to you right now. So having said that, did you get value in what I just said? Is it landing for you? Do you know anybody who you think would want to know this? I know a lot of you are having really tough conversations with your families, in your communities, and with other people around you, and you want to be part of the change, or they want to be part of the change. If you know those people, please tag them in this video. Please share this video and let them know, like, here is a way that you can do, right? Okay, so that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Happy Valentine's Day if you celebrate. And Danielle says, yay, Alexandra, it's tremendous amount of work and labor to hold those conversations. This is a really unique opportunity. Great feedback on balancing self-care and good judgment. Yes. Thank you, Danielle. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you all. I hope to connect with you one way or another in the near future. Okay,